is Ace Master 135 again today, but in this little episode, one of our little talks, today we're not really going to be talking about a topic. I'm just going to be ranting a little bit, going off a little bit from 2 years ago, from my 8th grade year. There's this kid, you know, like there's some people that I can't stand, can't tolerate at all. I just go crazy with people leaving so mad. 'Cause most of the time I can tolerate almost everybody except for those few people. This was about 8th grade. I'm pretty sure it was 8th grade, but anyway, this kid was terrible. He did everything that everyone in the whole entire world could hate. Like seriously, everyone in the school hated him. It was like no joke. Like everyone did. It was bad. Cause I always liked this kid. Cause here's one example. By the way, this kid. He sits in class, you know, he's always doing his work. He has to try incredibly hard to do his freaking work. And if anybody doesn't do something, he has to scream out and be like, "No, you didn't do anything. You didn't do your work." And I was like, and it was bad because he was way too into stuff. But anyway, there was this one time. He was sitting in class, and the teacher said, "You know what, guys? We're not gonna do work today." And he sat there, and this way he was like, "No." He started crying about it. I'm serious. Most of the time, I'm not very violent, but with him, I was about to strangle him. This is representation of what he would be. I would just slowly squeeze around his throat. I just rip it in half, like this, and like this, and rip everything in half. I would destroy him. It was, you understand what I would do. You don't understand how much I hate that kid. You don't. You just don't understand. But if you saw him, you would probably understand too. But anyway, going off onto something else. The other things that he always did. Every day in the morning, he always had to wake up 2 or 3 in the morning. But first I should explain to you. This kid thought he was in the military. Everything he did dealt with the military. He really thought he was in. He did everything he possibly could to imitate the military, but he did it wrong. Because all the stuff he did not happen in the military. They don't do that kind of stuff. Always. Apparently somebody's coming to my house. I don't know who. So weird. But anyway, he always had to do everything in the military. So 2:30 in the morning. He always had to wake up, and every single morning he sat there, he did physical training, because he said that's what they do in boot camp, because he was in boot camp, because he was getting ready to go to the Army, Marines, whatever, when he got out of college. He wasn't going to school, he was going to go to college. He was going to go right into the military. But this was maybe the weakest kid I've ever seen in my whole entire life. One day when we were in PE or something, we had to do you know, have you ever, in school, when you're in elementary school, they had to do, the Pacers test and things like that? Well, we were doing that kind of stuff, and we were doing the push-up part of it, the push-up part, and he sat there, and he got down, and before he even got down, he started sweating, he was sweating hard, it was dripping off his face. But anyway, and he sat there, and he got down, but before we started, he couldn't get up on his hands. He had to lay down first, and then when they started, he got up once, and he was struggling the first time he pushed up. And they went back down. And the second time went up. And they went down again. And on the third time, you know how it goes slow, it goes down? And it goes up because it's supposed to make you strain your muscles, work out your muscles more. And on the third time, he was trying to push himself up. He was he was trying to look, he was pushing hard, and there was a pool of sweat all over the floor. We haven't even started doing anything else yet. We sat there, and he just fell, and he just started crying out of nowhere. He just started freaking out and crying. And he got up, and he just started running around, and started throwing stuff everywhere. He was like this, he picked up random things, threw it all over the place, and pushed kids out of the way. You should have been there. If you were there, you know what I was talking about. The other people that was there, they know what I'm talking about, but luckily, I didn't see that kid anymore after 8th grade, because that kid, I couldn't stand him. If I got to see him in high school, he'd probably be dead. I probably would have beat him up 20 million times by now if I ever had to see him again. Oh man, that kid just made me just a little angry. But we're over it now. But anyway, and all the other stuff. Every time he saw a plane, every time he saw a plane in the sky, even though it wasn't any type of plane that was for the military, even if it was just a commercial plane, he had to salute it. He just had to. As it was flying over, he had to. And then he decided that he had to name every single plane, and a lot of times he did. It wasn't the right name, because there was a bomber that was flying over, and he said that was an F-18. Yeah, that makes sense. Bombers and F-18. That makes sense. But okay, but we shouldn't go with it. I went with it. And the worst thing about this, the whole entire time, I wasn't sure. I was like acting really, really hard, like to pretend that I was good with him, to go with him and do all this stuff, not show him that I was mad and stuff. And he thought I was his friend, so that didn't work either. That didn't work out, because he always had to follow me. Everything I ever did, always had to copy. And everything I ever said, too. I could say one phrase, like, once. You know what he'd do? He'd sit there and he'd copy it for 10 minutes. Every single time he saw me. Every time he saw me, he had to say it over and over again. And a lot of times, as I was saying something, he decided he had to come in and say exact same thing that I was saying. So every time I stopped, I could hear myself echo. I could hear my echo, or I could just stop in the middle of the sentence and he'd finish it. It would just happen. He just finished my sentence like that. And all the times that me and my friends, we had any kind of running joke, like running jokes that they've been going on for a while. Anytime we did it in front of him, he said that he had to jump in, and he had to start and make it like 20 times worse than what it actually was, and like take it the wrong way and mess it up, and you're just like, ruin everything. So it wasn't even a joke anymore. It was just like, I hate you, go away kind of thing. But he just made me mad. He really did. If you would have met him, you would if you would have met him. But if any of you guys live in Texas, it's good now, because he's moved. He moved somewhere else. I think he moved to like Europe or something like that. So he's gone now. But anyway, I don't know. There's so many more things that I could say. Don't want to make this thing really long, so I just kind of make it short. But also, I think he enjoyed trying to make other people feel pain, but it didn't really work because he was really, really weak. He was really weak. So he just went around like punching people, but he was like punching as hard as he could, but you could barely feel it. Like this wasn't just saying you could barely feel it. It was like an actual, no joke, barely feel it. Like it didn't really hurt at all. His fist was moving, his hand was maybe moving, or the pressure. Not like I play baseball, so I'm gonna compare this to baseball. Like if you throw a baseball like 60 miles per hour, and if you ever got hit with a baseball at 60 miles per hour, you feel it sting. His was probably about a 25, so you didn't even really feel it at all. And nothing happened. He just continuously, over and over, and did it. And then one day he decided that he was gonna hang out with all black people. All the black people thought they were gangsters. He decided he was gonna try to be friends with them. He really tried, and I'm pretty sure that he got beat up after the first 10 minutes of trying to hang out with them. Like, he got beat up. It wasn't a beat up. It was like he had to leave school for like the next week. He wasn't there for like a whole entire week. Because, like, beat him really bad. And then he went to go tell the principal, and I think he went to tell the police officer that was at the school too, that these people had done. He went and told like 50 other people, all these teachers and stuff. I was like, okay, if you got beat that bad, you can tell one person, but don't go tell 50 different people, because that's just stupid. And I don't know. I really don't know why I put up with it that long. It was... I tried to be nice. I tried to be a good person, but... man, it just didn't happen. Well, going back, I didn't finish the thing about how we were doing like the push-up stuff. I didn't finish that earlier. I just did the push-up thing. But anyway, after that, he just skipped the sit-up things he used to do. And he just skipped that. He said he couldn't do it because he had some kind of medical problem or something like that. But then later on, but first, before we get to this, he has no medical conditions at all, except he has ADHD, and dyslexia. That's about it. That's all he has. So then later on, as we went on to it, we started going to the running part, and then we were in the gym and we were running back and forth, and then it was his turn to go up there, and he was only in a group of 5 other people because he was one of the last groups, because he was just trying to put it off for a long time because he didn't want to try to do it. He wanted to see if the bell could ring so he could get out of it. But then he started running. It's really, really slow, like you could walk to the other side. When it starts, he was walking, and he first time down, he walked fine. The second time back up, you could start seeing sweat. You could start seeing sweat rolling down, and then he started sweating. Okay, and then the second time, and after that was one full time, one back and one there and one back, and that was the second time. And it wasn't the second time. They went down to the second. It was the first time that they sped up. So he started jogging, which you still could have walked. There, he started jogging, and he still got there last. All the people who walked, he jogged, and he was sweating hard. Like his face was completely covered in like sweat. It was like rolling down his face, and he started breathing hard. Like this wasn't like, like athletes, when they breathe hard, you can't hear them, depending how far away you were. We were about 15, 20 feet away, and you could hear him breathing. He was like, like you could hear it. It was like hard, fake breathing. I don't know if he was doing this on purpose or if he was just really that out of shape and everything, but I don't know. But then he kept going down again. He kept going down. He went in and he was jogging, and then the second time they sped it up, those people started jogging then, and he started running. And he was pretty much last every single time again. And this was maybe 10 laps. This was maybe 10 times into it. And the 11th time, he started running, and then he just fell in the middle. He just fell in the middle of the floor, and he was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And he started crying again. He started crying again. This was like 4 times in one day. I was, oh my God, I started crying again for like the 4th time, and that day. And this, no, but that's about it. That's what I'm going to say for now, because I don't feel like going anymore about this kid, because it makes me rethinking about him. I don't have to see him anymore. He moved a long way away across the ocean. Don't have to see him anymore, but anyway, after that, this was only the few times that I'm going to rant. I'm going to be doing it more, but on the next episode thing we're talking about, probably just going to be talking about another topic. See if you guys give me one to talk about, and I'll talk about that. If not, I'll just make some random stuff up. I don't know what I'm talking about. I could be talking about anything. Also, I'm making a new song for time lapse, or that's the band name that I have. But you should guys check that out whenever I put it on YouTube. Might put it up in the next week or something, because I'm gonna have to be doing some stuff and be studying for all my AP tests and STAR and stuff like that for my chemistry sharks. I'm gonna figure that thing because we have a terrible teacher. But anyway, I'm gonna try to figure that out. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I'll have to be editing it. I have to be taking some time to do some homework and stuff like that. But then maybe next week I'll be putting the song up. So hopefully you guys can hopefully watch that and listen to it and like it. But anyway, hope you guys subscribe, and I'll be bringing you some more stuff.